What's up everyone, this is Jalay. Welcome back to another video. A while back I built my first custom gaming and streaming PC with MSI B450 Tomahawk Max, AMD Ryzen 7 3700X and Gigabyte RTX 2070 Super Gaming OC 3X 8G. Be sure to check out that video by clicking on the iCard or the link in the description. In this video, I will basically show you guys synthetic benchmarks of that particular system. Before we get started, we need to make a few changes. Let me open up CPU-Z and show you a quick benchmark of current settings. As you see, the CPU clock speed is locked at 2.2 GHz and prevents the processor from performing at the expected speed. To make sure it performs at expected speed, we need to change the power plan and select Ultimate Performance. Now, as you see, the clock speed is staying nearby 4.2 GHz, which is what we want. Let's run the CPU-Z benchmark once again and see if it is performing as expected, and looks like it does. The reason why it is slower than the reference score is because OBS is consuming around 4% of the CPU at the moment, and thus CPU-Z benchmark cannot utilize 100% of the CPU. Next, we need to go to the NVIDIA control panel and make sure that the max frame rate is set to off, which basically means that we are not limiting FPS. Next is the power management mode and set it to prefer maximum performance. And the last one is the texture filtering quality and set it to high performance. So basically what we did here is remove any kind of limit to the graphics card. Now that we are done with the settings, let's look at the first benchmarking program, which is UserBenchMark. This is one of the best benchmarking program which basically checks all the components connected to your system, including the USB storage devices. The reason why I like it is because at the end of the process, the program basically compares our results with the other similar systems and shows us the output in the form of comparison. As you see the performance results here, the 3700X is performing as expected with 60th percentile and marked as excellent. The 2070 Super graphics card is performing way above expectations with 93rd percentile and marked as outstanding. Both of my storage devices are also performing well. And lastly, the memory modules are also performing as expected and marked as excellent. The next benchmarking program I have here is the GeekBench 5. This is similar to UserBenchMark and allows us to compare our scores with other similar systems. However, the fact that we can individually benchmark CUDA, OpenCL and Vulkan for the graphics card makes it super awesome. After running all 4 benchmarks, I got the single core score of 1260 and the multi-core score of 8222, which is great. Moving on to the CUDA score, I got whopping 115131, which is better than the other reference benchmarks on this site. For OpenCL, I got 110600, which is also better than the other reference cards. And lastly, the Vulkan score was 9496, which is again better than the other reference card. Overall, my GeekBench score was better than most of the scores on this site. Now let me use a benchmarking program which is widely popular, the Cinebench R20. This is specifically a CPU benchmarking program, so let's run it and see what score I will get. Image rendering is one of those tasks which utilizes your processor the most. So Cinebench basically simulates the same by rendering the image and compares it to the other real-world test in order to gauge your CPU's performance. At the end, I got a score of 4617, which as you see here is definitely better than other identical systems. Now let's benchmark the graphics card by running the Heaven Benchmark 4.0. ForMark is also an option for benchmarking the graphics card, but for this video I will be using Heaven Benchmark. I will be benchmarking my 2070 Super against Ultra settings on 1080p resolution. This will take around 5 minutes, so I will see you guys once it's done. At the end, I got the average FPS of 214 with the score of 5392, which is great. The minimum FPS was 55.3 and the maximum FPS was 426.6. Overall, much better compared to other reference cards. To end this video, I will run one last popular benchmarking program both for the processor and the graphics card, which is the 3D Marks x Spy. So let me run it and I will see you guys once it's done. As you see here, I got the score of 10644, which is really great. Individually, the graphics score was 10912 and the CPU score was 9347. My score was better than 89% of all the results. Overall, this system is a beast and can easily play any game you throw at it. Just so you know, all the results and scores that you saw in this video are nothing but pure synthetic benchmarks. I will release another video showcasing the actual gaming performance, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss it. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and I will see you guys in the next one.